But my beats, they are hard.
All right. Hello. Welcome to another live episode of the BCSN SportsWrap. We're back. AD Drew, Bryan Fulford here. How you doing, Drew?
Doing fine, my brother. After my week off due to other obligations.
You sure you weren't ducking the smoke? That's what
No.
people are saying out there. No, I'm just kidding.
Only smoke you're gonna get from me is from a cigar, bro.
No, I mean we saw you
and that's with the original stuff inside the leaf, not the left-handed stuff in the leaf.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Well, hello, welcome to another live episode of the BCSN SportsWrap. 9 years running, the longest HBCU sports talk show on the interwebs, social media, streaming platforms, all that stuff. You know, yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that. Good to see everybody. Sorry we missed you last week. Hopefully you were watching the Super Bowl. Hopefully you enjoyed the Super Bowl. Hopefully you enjoyed the halftime show. All that good stuff.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Bryan. And
how much of it did you watch?
You was in the group chat. I had to text the show just kind of threw me for a loop. Obviously, I'm gonna be honest with you, I had no idea who that was at halftime. I had no idea what he was saying at halftime, but I did catch some of the symbolism.
Oh, yes. I caught some of it, not all of it.
I mean, I had to go see a few articles and podcasts and stuff like that to catch some of it, but it was an interesting ploy. All I'm gonna say is beware Roger Goodell of 4-7 now.
Of what?
4-7. I can't call that man by his name. 45/47.
Oh, I got you. Look, even without the translator working on my TV, which you couldn't do, you could, from a musical standpoint, you could listen to the music, you could see the production and know that the show was hot. You could, I mean, look, hey, there was some dancing going on that was like, whoa, yes, wow, that's entertaining. So I mean, there was a lot of things for the eyes and the ears, and even if you didn't know the words, there was a lot to enjoy from a good show. You know what? I mean, I could have, if you had given me a free ticket, I could have gone to a Bad Bunny concert. I've seen enough people moving and dancing, and I can keep a beat. So from that perspective, it was good. And I think what I found interesting, the NFL, which is making a stronger push into international markets, playing chess by having an internationally renowned artist who speaks to a larger audience. I mean, the NFL just continues to find ways to grow the brand, Definitely. So I don't know, man. It's a machine. It's a machine.
Bryan, and this is definitely not the platform for us to have this discussion, but it's going to be really interesting with the World Cup in 2026 and the Olympics in 2028, what some of our visitors from other nations are going to think about uh, some of our governmental organizations and how they treat people from outside the country. We'll just say it like that.
Yeah, because isn't that's happening this year, this summer, isn't it?
This summer, yes, and in some of the cities which some of us are in, I know there'll be a set of games here in Atlanta. Obviously, I believe the finals are in LA. Got games in Kansas City, New York. Ironically, cities that are controlled by the party not in the majority right now.
Who? What?
Democratic. Those cities you had where all these games come in tend to have Democratic mayors.
Right. I've noticed that trend too. I've heard that. Yeah, that's a thing happening where if you're in a Democratic city, then yeah, you're catching it. Well, look, I do think, look, this is a great point by Edwin. Good to see you, Edwin. Thanks for checking in. Did you understand the words last year when Kendrick Lamar did the show? That's a very good point, Edwin.
So what's the difference?
I would say I probably did not, other than the word mustard. I probably didn't know half the words that Kendrick Lamar was saying, other than mustard. So outside of that, you know, great point, Edwin. Great point. 100%.
You wrong for that point, Edwin, but a good point.
You wrong, but he right. You're wrong, but you're right. Yeah. So here's what here, and you know what's funny is what totally escaped me going into this weekend, Drew. And we were just asking this a second ago. And I'm being completely honest here. I had no idea that the NBA All-Star Game weekend was happening. Matter of fact, the game is happening now. Did you guys understand that? You guys in the chat, did you know the NBA All-Star Game was happening right now?
Well, there are a number of people in this chat who don't, who are watching us who don't even care that the NBA All-Star Game is probably happening. We're probably more entertaining.
That part true, but I did not really know that the week. I mean, it just really, not that I care, but it kind of rolled up on it. No, I'm being honest. Okay, Israel? See, you must be a solid NBA fan then. I have not been paying attention to the NBA as hard. Probably because my team, I know that we're battling for a first place number 1 draft pick for next year. So I checked out. At the beginning of the season, before the season started. But I will say I'm a guy who listens to a lot of sports talk, all kinds of different shows. And it just was not a hot topic that, hey, the All-Star Weekend is happening. Are you excited about the All-Star Weekend?
No. Did you see the garbage of a slam dunk contest yesterday?
No, I didn't know they were, I saw a guy took off from the free throw line and won. That's still a thing, huh? You can still take off from the free throw line and win the slam dunk contest. Huh?
I don't think that was the free throw line, Bryan.
Well, I didn't even see his feet. So I'm just saying, I didn't. And then I tell you what I'm more fascinated by are the times at which these are happening. Like right now, it used to be the All-Star Game would come on maybe 7 o'clock when it was on TNT, 7 o'clock, 7:30, maybe 8. The game started apparently at 5:30, which means it's in California, which means that's a 2 o'clock in the afternoon game.
Yeah.
I mean, NBA games on the West Coast don't even start that early in the afternoon, Drew. Most NBA games in the on the West Coast start 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, which is
but those Sunday games they play usually start early for them.
6 o'clock, maybe 6, 7.
I mean, you pay attention. You've got some.
All right.
I'm done. Let's move on. Let's move off this subject, man. You just killed it right there.
I did. I'm sorry.
If that doesn't apply when you talk about time, Bryan.
Look, Israel. You know what? I don't know what channel you listen to, but I must be listening to a different channel. That's all. College basketball season has been happening ever since
I saw a portion of the Hampton A&T game. Who was that? Gail Hinton. But
yes.
I think more of the
I saw
game.
the highlights. That's all I knew.
And for me, since we were in that game last year, I was aware of it. We do have a group of students who are out there actually covering it as part of uh internship or partnership with the NBA. But they moved the game because the game has always been played on Saturday, and I'm talking about the HBCU NBA Classic. The HBCU NBA Classic game has always been played on Saturday until this year when they played it on Friday night. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Bryan. At 11 o'clock Eastern time start for somebody who had a full day on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the Valentine's Day portion. I'm just talking about the regular stuff that I do on Saturday, being in athletics. At 11 o'clock Eastern time start was tough for me. That's why more of the game watched me than I watched the bit.
Right. So you got people who didn't even know who was in the game.
That's because it
Hampton
was
and
the
North
two,
Carolina A&T,
yeah,
the CAA schools.
the two forgotten about schools now.
Right. The forgotten abouts. Yeah.
So I
The
guess that
CAA.
means Tennessee State will never play in that game because they don't have an opponent.
Well, I feel like, okay, so let's talk about it because they have done a rotation of schools from every conference.
The four conferences, and
And
now
the non.
Yeah.
So where do you go now? Because
NAIA?
I do agree with you. Tennessee State deserves some love going into next year.
NAIA?
They haven't done NAIA?
No. Everybody's been NCAA.
Well, yeah. Yeah, why not NAIA? Why not? Where is the All-Star game next year? Anyone know? Where's the 2027 NBA All-Star game? But anyway, I would love to see an NAIA matchup. Who would you have? Who would you have? I think Langston deserves a shot.
But who's their opponent? Because these have all been conference matchups that they've taken.
Yeah.
It's in Phoenix, Bryan.
Ooh.
And it's a week later. It's the third week next year.
Is that because next year isn't the Super Bowl this weekend next year?
Possibly. That might be
I think so. The Super Bowl will actually be the Sunday before President's Day, which means we get the day after the Super Bowl off.
Yeah. But it's
which is what they've been fighting to try to get forever.
All-Star weekend is the 19th through the 21st next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Langston would be in a similar situation as Tennessee State. I'm being honest with you. You pretty much have to go to the HBCU AC.
There you go.
And if I'm taking my first draft choice out of the HBCU AC, would be Tougaloo.
Is Talladega still in it?
Talladega is still in the HBCU AC.
I don't know if Tougaloo has a. I don't know if Tougaloo has a. No disrespect.
You just talk about quality of a team. Now, I think if you were to pair two independent, quote unquote, independent NAIAs, I would love to see Xavier and Langston because Xavier is joining the Southern State Athletic Conference next year, with Langston being in the Sooner Athletic Conference. But it's a lot tougher to maneuver, and trust me, from somebody who dealt with this, the logistics around the game and dealing with conference schedules, it would be a lot tougher logistically to deal with two conferences than it would for one conference as the NBA does.
So let's take a look at it. HBCU AC. How about a you said
You
Tougaloo, huh?
really don't have a big school because Xavier is probably one of your more name schools, a
Yeah,
large alumni base,
right.
out of your NAIA schools. Outside of that, there's really not a
But who
uh
has basketball history of the HBCU AC schools? Who has the basketball history? Because I do think they like to kind of feature programs that have, some historical oomph behind it.
most recently you're talking about a Talladega.
Congressman Benny Thompson is a Tougaloo alum. Okay, well,
Talladega Tougaloo probably recently are your two historical schools. Fisk just because of the name, but their basketball program has not been hitting on anything. Yeah, Kentucky State's in the SIAC now, so we could throw that one out, Emmett. I mean, it's a good one. He is correct, but
Stillman and Tougaloo.
who knows anything about Stillman? Most people don't even know Stillman's that other school in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, wow. Hmm. Well, I do think it'll be interesting to see if they run the NAIA route or do they find an opponent for Tennessee State.
Or do they recycle? Or do they recycle back to? I believe the first one was
Swag.
BAC, or was it SWAC? I think it was SWAC the first year in Cleveland. I think Cleveland was the first one.
Well, although I would hate to see this, being the fact that it is an NBA All-Star game,
Hmm.
if you go SWAC, don't you just have to go FAMU and Jackson State because of the coaches?
Ooh, I like that.
I mean, wouldn't you just have to? I mean, Mo Williams, Charlie Ward, former NBA players.
Yes, Edwin Dillard is in the HBCUAC, but I
Yeah.
like that though.
I mean, that's where I would go if I'm the NBA looking for an HBCU
Well, Brian,
matchup.
Brian, let's not let,
Or Nolan, I mean, Nolan Smith
let's
would
not
be.
throw this. Let's not forget Bethune Cookman.
Yeah, that's true. That's
With
true.
the Would you take?
DS,
Wait a minute, hold up. Would just like they did with Tuskegee Morehouse? Would you take FAMU and Bethune to Phoenix?
yes, yes, because that would mean yes, yeah, I would do that. I would do that.
I don't think so, Steve. I don't think they would go with a women's matchup.
Ooh. Um.
Just because,
Yeah,
just
not doing the
because, and that sound
NBA.
of sexist. Women's,
NBA. Yeah,
yeah,
it's the
women's
NBA.
games do not draw.
Well, no, I see. I thought you were gonna say it's because it's the men's,
It's the NBA, and a women's game would not draw with that audience.
right. Uh, yeah. All right. Um. Well, it's definitely worth looking into and considering where they go with it in the future. Um. Yeah. Let me. I'm just kind of browsing. As we get into tonight's show. Edwin, it's not even about that. Edwin, come on now. I mean, it's really not even about that. I'm looking at it from the standpoint of the NBA and saying, who would we want to feature? And you have three former players coaching in a conference, right? Doesn't it make sense? You got Bethune, Jackson State, Florida A&M. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and I'll tell you where they won't go with it next year. They won't go back to the Division 2 next year, just because of the date.
Yeah, because of how late it is.
Because of how late it is. That's really the last weekend before the Division Two start their tournament.
Yeah. All right. What else have we missed over the course of the past week?
We missed an interesting Thursday night women's matchup.
We did.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking about the game.
Hold on. What conference? What conference?
Out the SWAC with the extracurriculars.
Okay. Did anyone see the extracurriculars? Because I was hearing on the interwebs that nobody saw the extracurriculars.
No. Yeah, the cameras were not rolling.
So this is what the press release was that the SWAC issued regarding who did it involve again?
Alabama State. It was the Thursday night opponent.
Hold on, I'm looking at the SWAC schedule now because I don't know.
Come on, Steve, drop the article in the chat. Y'all wrote about it.
Oh, Valley.
Help us out.
Mississippi Valley State. It was in Montgomery. That Alabama State won 86-70. The mystery brawl. Let me see if I can. I saw it from somebody's perspective. Hold on, I'm on Game Day site right now, looking, see if I can find out. Here it is. HBCU women's basketball brawl leads to fines by Stephen J. Gaither here. Let's see. The SWAC issued a series of disciplinary actions following an altercation between Mississippi Valley State University and Alabama State University. The league announcement serves a firm reminder of the standards expected within HBCU athletics. Both programs face significant financial personnel setbacks. Both schools were fined $25,000. 4 student athletes were disciplined in total, 2 from Valley. 1 from Alabama State received a 1-game suspension. So you had 2 from Valley and 1 from Alabama State who served a 2-game suspension. And somebody from Alabama State served a 2-game suspension for her role in the incident. And somehow in today's social media climate, nobody has video of the event that occurred.
I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself.
You brought it up.
No, that portion of it, I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself.
You can't. You're horrible. You bring it up. You let me run off on with it, and then you duck and run for cover. You suck. Exactly, Steve. That nobody has a cell phone game. To select the best plan for your needs. I wonder, did this occur in the back hallways or in the locker room, i.e., Chris Paul and the who was it? Remember the incident when Chris Paul and the Clippers went after the Warriors or something like that back in the day, and all we heard about it was through tweets. remember, and then the whole incident got sort of recast when they did that movie called Clipped, or that TV show called Clipped.
Yes.
But other than that, all we had were social media posts and reports, that the Clippers had charged into the Warriors locker room or something like that, or maybe it was vice versa. I don't even remember, but again, nobody recorded anything. We just have eyewitness testimony and then suspensions and then public statements by universities. Yeah, you might want to stay off screen for that, Drew. As Alabama State did issue an official statement in a timely manner, I'll note. Yeah, you guys know where it is. I'm not going to spend time reading it. Dr. Jason Cable. But yeah. And if that wasn't the most under talked about story involving an Alabama women's basketball team, the HBCU lickback game was also the most overhyped, worst talked about game in SWAC basketball. You know, the Alabama A&M Bulldogs, who were on a 10-game winning streak going into their rematch with Mississippi Valley State, the only team to beat them in SWAC play, and they did it the very first game out of the season in overtime. And all people could fixate on was, ooh, can Alabama A&M get their lick back? Lick back. 95-55. That's a little more than a lick.
That's a whole ice cream cone.
Yeah. Yeah, the Bulldogs went on to win on Saturday and now sit with a 12-game winning streak. And we have to seriously ask, will they run the table, i.e., and you brought this up a couple of shows ago. Remember the Jackson State run from several years ago, Mika Reed's first or second year, when they lost that early game, and then they ran off like 16 in a row, won a title. Then the next year, I think they came back unbeaten. So, yeah, could we be looking at a run here? The Winston-Salem State. What is this? The Winston-Salem State UNC FSU lickback game. Man, look, I just can't wait for look. Can the rest of the CIAA just get out the way so that we can get Winston-Salem State Lady Rams versus Fayetteville State Lady Broncos in the CIAA championship? Can we get out the way? We just got to get out the way. So Winston-Salem State won their 21st game, I think it was, of the season. A new record. I mean, they continue to impress. I guess we got to go back and look at. Remember, I was running a thing on streaks. I guess I got to go back and recalculate that next week for next week's show. We got some.
I could tell you who has the second longest streak.
Outside of Alabama A&M?
Yes.
Let me guess. Is it Alcorn State?
Ever Waters.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. What's their streak?
They've won their last 10 consecutive.
Oh, that's pretty impressive. And so that means Alcorn State has 9 then. Alcorn State has 9.
And Steve, I got a question. I do have a question for you in just a second, Steve, about Winston-Salem basketball.
I was gonna say, what has Langston's women been doing lately in terms of streaks?
I did not check theirs.
I'm looking now. Because that would be another team, I think, that was on a run.
I know they are like 23-3, if I remember overall.
Oh, they just lost. Hold on, they just lost. Langston women just lost last night. Lost to John Brown out of Arkansas, 64-62.
Whoever he is.
They had a 15-game winning streak. So Langston women had a 15-game winning streak that just got snapped yesterday. So that was at home. Yeah, so that would have been the longest women's streak. And so now I guess Steve said they have that 15 is the second best. Of course, doesn't match the Winston-Salem State has the longest, but
yeah, they've had the longest this year.
So 16 is the long?
Yes.
All right. Well,
I know Virginia Union men had a long streak in there. But you're talking about current active, I believe A&M would be 1, Edward Waters would be 2, and then Alcorn would be 3.
So Alabama A&M, let's see, they travel to FAMU on Thursday night. The dueling diva sideline coaches, so that'll be a fashion show. Who can outwear the other coach?
Somebody's boutique is going to be getting a lot of phone calls after that one.
Somebody's stylist, get on the phone, get ready. We'll be seeing those two coaches match outfits and see who can outdress the other. And then A&M will travel to Bethune. So if the Bulldogs don't stumble on Thursday night, they shouldn't have a problem going to Daytona Beach. Then, and then they play Alabama State next Saturday in Huntsville at home. So that could be the 15. So that's the next 3 opponents on the 15-game streak. Grambling and Southern close. So if they finish unbeaten,
that Southern game to close out the season is going to be
Southern close the season, but it's at home. The Lady Bulldogs finished their last 3 games at home. You talk about a favorable schedule. This is their last road trip. So in essence, Drew, if they get past this 2-game road trip coming to Florida, they got the next 3 at home. They literally could go into the SWAC tournament 17-1 on a 17-game winning streak.
Yeah.
If that happens, would you, not that you do this, and not that there's any markets for this, although I wonder, could Kalshi make it? Anyway, would you bet on the Lady Bulldogs to win the tournament?
Bryan, I'm going to be honest with you. It's something about, we've called the men's invitational the Texas Southern Invitational.
Mm-hmm.
It's something about Nate Gilbert, though, with Alcorn State.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get to the finals. Now, sooner or later, he's going to lose that Buffalo Bills curse that he has and at least become the Atlanta Braves and get one.
It's a heck of an analogy.
And here's the thing, Bryan. Alcorn State usually gets hot in February. This team got hot in January this year, Bryan. So it's a different type of Alcorn State team that we're looking at going into the tournament than we've seen in the past on the women's side. So it's a different dynamic, but I'm wondering if that means something, the fact that they have been hot the entire season, not just gotten a run those last 3-4 weeks like we've seen in the past.
And I'll give you one more reason.
And then you've always got Southern out there.
Yes, you do. I'm going to give you one more reason to be high on Alcorn State.
Mm-hmm.
That 40-point loss to Alabama A&M, that's all the motivation you need. All the motivation. 40? You 40?
40.
I mean, 40.
40.
Yeah. So because trust me, that's all anyone's going to be talking about should those teams match up. While we're hold on, I haven't even looked in the MEAC yet, but at some point, real quick, we need to talk about or look at this the SWAC tournament schedule, because that did come out, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
Can we put a pin in that before we do that? Because I want to get into I got two more things I want to get into before we get to that portion of it. And now I just lost my HBCU game day page. But we've got a mid-season firing, Bryan, in basketball, which is something that we rarely see. And if you missed it, Corey Thompson, who's been at Winston-Salem State just under 2 years, is out the door. And I'm just curious, Bryan. And Steve, maybe you can answer this.
Oh,
no,
of all people.
No, Steve Steve might have some insight on this. But did the success of the women's program this year put even more pressure on Thompson to deliver at Winston-Salem?
Or I'm gonna throw another curveball at you. Did Coach Hill going to Maryland Eastern Shore? Because I forgot all the reasons why they didn't. Did they not renew the contract with him at Winston-Salem State with Cleo Hill?
Don't remember that far back.
Well,
but the success he's having at Eastern Shore.
Yeah. So you got a new coach coming in on the women's side
with success.
Okay, so Steve said Hill just left.
Okay,
well, he just left, but. Come on,
7-15 this year, 5-22 last year, and we know how tradition-rich Winston-Salem basketball has been.
Yeah. Well, there was enough articles being written about. There's enough talk going on out there in the Winston-Salem, in the WSSU Ram Nation about what wasn't happening on the men's program. And so that might have added to the pressure. Low expectations, low results. I'm not insinuating anything. I'm just saying,
Gotcha.
Oh, and the AD that hired him is gone. Well, there you go. That too had a play in, Yeah, new AD comes in and says, I'm not beholden to this. And then I'm looking at the women winning, and we gotta
in the Clarence Big House Gaines Center.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
All I know is you media guys, you keep finding the most appealing photos of the coach. When they fire a coach, they never find an appealing photo of you, right? They always find a photo of you looking your worst, your most engaged, the growl, the scowl.
I guarantee you,
right there. The men's.
I guarantee you, Bryan.
The men's team was killing the vibe. There you go.
It was probably a lot of people at those men's games leaving during the first media timeout after coming to the women's game.
Are they still doing double headers? They still do double headers?
Yeah. Come on now. We D2. We can't do all that stuff, man.
Yeah. So everyone's showing up for the women's game, excited, and then after the first 8 minutes, you're like, oh, man, this is going to be babbage. Let's leave.
Yeah, I can't even make it at halftime.
I can't even make the halftime. We're going to leave at the 8-minute mark.
Yeah. But Bryan, did you see the Big Cat Hardwood Classic, the Duke Carolina of HBCU basketball?
The best HBCU basketball rivalry happening in sports right now? Of course I saw it, Drew. Of course.
Oh, it's a 7-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Morehouse has to add to their lead here. Peters looking for the inbound pass. Gets it to White. Moore has it. Lawson to White. Shot clock at 10. Game clock at 15. Lead is 2 for Morehouse. Sincere Moore with 5 seconds to go. Spins. Puts up a long 2. Sincere Moore extends the lead to Moore.
Sincere Moore has the crowd on his feet. Oh my goodness. Sincere Moore threw up a prayer and somebody answered. Take a look at the replay. Look at Sincere.
The footwork. The crafty dribble. The long 2. Extending the lead to Moore and popping the roof off Ford's Arena. The leading scorer for the Morehouse College Maroon Tigers comes up clutch.
I tell you what, man.
Sincere Moore taking his defender through there.
He is taking him through there. Oh my goodness. And I tell you what, the student body is going crazy over this one right here. Free lunch for a week for Sincere Moore after pulling off a shot like that.
Wow.
Hey, wait a minute. Drew, how are you playing the security guard as well as being
they
the
were there
league representative?
They were there too. I was just making sure.
Are you sure the security guard didn't have a belt out? Because it looked like everybody and their mama was in that corner.
Yeah, everybody had their belt out. Everybody's britches was falling after that shot.
No pants were up. That's a BTA moment. Another BTA moment.
BTA. That's 4 consecutive. Shout out to Simone Stanley and Sylvester Williams on the call right there. Great job by those two. And
great job.
Yes.
That I look. I'm gonna tell you now. The CIAA has some matchups which equal that enthusiasm. But again, I'm sorry, SWAC. I've seen a few MEAC. That is the best. That's the best matchup, best rivalry happening in HBCU basketball. Because I think even though y'all have swept them the last 2 years, what was it? The year before that was a split, and I think that Clark team won the regular season. Did they not?
2 years ago. No, the two teams were tied 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Clark won it last year by 1 game. Won the regular season by 1 game. Morehouse had a streak. They won 3 consecutive, but the last of those 3, it was a co-champion with Clark.
Okay. And look,
and then Clark won it last year.
Look, you guys are missing the point. The whole BTA, they beat them 4 consecutive years and they swept them. It's not about a 2 or 4 point win. The BTA is we done whooped your tail twice in a season. We whooped the rival twice in a year, 4 consecutive times. That's what the BTA is. It's not about a 2. I mean, hell, you beat them by 20 points. That's no fun. I mean, exactly. Morehouse was down. Yes, it is,
Bryan. Stop it. Yes, it is. It is fun. Because we beat it by 24 the first time.
Well, I'll tell you what makes that game and the enthusiasm unrivaled right now is how electric the student body, the atmosphere, the crowd.
Wait, hold on, Bryan.
I don't know who's matching that right now.
The lead is 4 for Morehouse College with 6 seconds to go. Clark Atlanta needs a miracle. Morehouse College looking to sweep their rivals for back-to-back seasons.
She said, no more needs to be said.
I just think that atmosphere. That is an atmosphere. Look, I heard people talking earlier in the week about Kansas beating Arizona. And I called that. I knew Arizona was unbeaten, one of 2 unbeaten teams in college basketball. They went into Fog Allen Fieldhouse, Kansas, and they lost on a Tuesday night. I knew that was going to happen. I predicted that, cha-ching. But all I heard was people talking about how great the atmosphere was in Fog Allen. They were saying it was the loudest. I mean, think about how many games have been played and how many big-time atmospheres we have seen on ESPN, right? talking about that. And I was sitting there thinking, wow, man, they are really saying this is one of the top 3 games. I mean, I didn't have my TV turned up like that, but okay. I mean, but the atmosphere, that crowd, and I was a part of it last year, with game that went to overtime. I mean, Morehouse snatched the victory.
Overtime.
Double overtime. Thank you. Thank you for the correction. That game was electric a year ago, to the point where they knocked us off the air. The crowd was so hyped. And that was the original BTA moment. Okay. Blue Jacket, I'm comparison here. Just stop it. Stop it. Stop being a hater. Stop being a hater, damn it. Just follow along with the story. Story time, all right? Just follow along. Man. Atmosphere-wise, I am not seeing that on a regular basis on most college campuses. Now, the proximity to the court helps, right? I mean, Winston-Salem State, they have some great crowds, and I have seen enough to know that when they go off the chain, they get off the I mean, it's like, how do you even control and keep those kids off the floor? Because that place is electric.
Bethune,
I don't see that. I don't see it in the SWAC.
Bethune has that type of that type of setup.
No, they don't really, Drew, because it's just that gym. Everybody's on top of you because it ain't but 2,000 people that can fit in that gym. It's not an arena; it's a gym.
Yeah,
right. So
I'll tell you a place where it used to be like that. At Alabama A&M before they built the new arena.
I don't remember that gym.
I do.
You do? Okay.
I do.
Oh yes. It kind of looked like a rec center.
It reminds you of Cameron. It reminds you of Cameron Indoor.
Yes. It looked like it had like an upper deck where you would run across the top or something like that.
Yeah, I mean the people were right up on you, Brian.
Yeah. But I don't know if Alabama A&M was ever good enough to kind of, you know what I'm saying? I mean, no offense, Alabama A&M, but we all moved into a new arena and all of a sudden the basketball got a little bit better. So, I mean, props though. But yeah, and so it got me to thinking that type of atmosphere is hard to match. And I wish we could get more colleges, maybe more students, more athletic teams. I love the fact that the Morehouse football team was in suits, right? After kind of the issues that they went through previously. They came dressed for the occasion this time. But I wish you saw more teams and more campuses. I mean, I've seen enough empty seats in basketball arenas on SWAC TV than I care to look at. I'm just saying. And so when I say that, yes, and maybe proximity helps. It probably definitely does. If we think about the best basketball rivalries, maybe the ones that with the proximity do matter. But I also think when you can have student engagement, when you can get the students to come out and be energetic, and then you get, I mean, that was an unbelievable shot. I can't even believe that he hit that shot, first off.
Brian,
not let alone took it.
He had no choice because you heard the horn go off on the shot clock while the ball was in the air. Number one. Number two, Sincere Moore may be the best bad shot maker in the SIAC.
I love the way you said that. There's a skill to that. There's a skill to that.
Just like Steph Curry is the best bad shot maker in the NBA.
There's a skill. Yeah.
He takes bad shots, but he makes them so they're good shots.
Yeah. Well, they're good for him.
Yeah. And nobody else can make that shot.
You take it and it's a bad shot. Your coach is fussing at you like,
exactly.
Oh, what the hell are you doing?
But you live with it with a Steph Curry taking it. Sincere Moore for Morehouse, at least for this team, is that equivalent?
You know what? I will agree with Doc because I have seen on YouTube, and I say YouTube in the last 4 years, right? I don't even have to go that far back. I have seen some Prairie View Texas A&M games at Texas Southern. I'm not going to say it was at Prairie View. It was at Texas Southern. Those games look insane. The crowd, the atmosphere was insane. So I will throw Prairie View, Texas A&M into the discussion.
Yeah. Now, Brian, I'm gonna give you one. I'm gonna give you another one, and it's in our conference. Miles Tuskegee in Fairfield. That is
Fairfield that's Miles
that's
campus?
Miles. Yes, that's Miles.
Does anybody from Tuskegee actually get into that arena? Because
they
Miles, that's a
get in there.
They
Because they don't. The capacity is 1,000.
Okay.
And that's one of those. If you've ever been to one of those clubs where it's 2 out, 2 in type situations, you have to wait for somebody to leave before you can get in. That's Miles Tuskegee at Miles. And that is another atmosphere that I have been in where, and that was probably the worst. When I say worst, because the people are literally on top of you. You feel like you're sitting in the bleachers when you're sitting on the bench. That's how close the people are. If the person on the front row kicks their leg out, they're going to kick the back of your chair. You're sitting on the bench. That's how close it is. There is no such thing as a camera angle in there because the people are in your way. There's no way you can do it without people stepping into your shot. So from a producer's perspective, it's a logistical nightmare. From a coach's perspective, I'm glad I never had to coach in that facility because they always moved the game to a larger facility when I was coaching. But I have, post my coaching career, been there when they kept their game on campus. And it's not bad when Miles comes to Tuskegee, but it's a little bit of a different vibe when Tuskegee goes to Miles.
And that's because of the arena. I mean,
Tuskegee because of the size of the arena. Yeah, Tuskegee has a large arena. Tuskegee's arena seats just under 5,000.
Yeah. And my apologies if I said I meant the Texas Southern Prairie View A&M. If I said, I see Doc correcting me there. I meant the Texas Southern Prairie View A&M game that was at Texas Southern. Those were the games that I was talking about that I saw that were really electric. And yes, I think I may have seen a Tuskegee Miles. Who was the other one? Sly was talking about Benedict and
Claflin.
Not Claflin. He was talking about.
He said Benedict Claflin on the broadcast.
I haven't seen. I gotta, okay.
And I've never witnessed those two teams playing.
Either.
I've been to both places, but I've never seen those two actually play each other.
So my question is it? Do you think that atmosphere is a product of the program? Product of the wins of the history of those programs? Do you think it's a product of the proximity? Do you think it's a product of maybe student apathy, student engagement, or lack of? What do you think? What do you think? What makes those atmospheres so special, and why and why it's so hard to replicate?
And the ones that I have either been a part of or have been witness to, number one is when one or both teams are winning, and I mean winning consistently, not the broken clock is right 2 times a day type winning. That has helped when both teams have won consistently. When there's a connection between, say, the coaching staff or the athletic staffs or something like that. If a coach has left from one school and gone to another school, that adds to the rivalry. When you have schools where, and we'll take somebody like a Dr. Cavill, for example. He graduated from one school and he works at the other. And when you have a lot of those across the sphere, where you've got a lot of faculty and staff who've attended one and worked at another one, that just adds to the rivalry. Proximity has to matter, Brian. It has to be something where the student body feels comfortable getting there. Well, for Morehouse and Clark Atlanta, there's no more comfortability than walking across a lawn and being on one campus or another. Literally walking across the lawn and being on one campus to another. You don't even have to drive your car and pay for parking for this particular matchup. You know, Tuskegee Miles, 2 hours, less than 2 hours from each other. Texas A&M, Texas Southern, Prairie View A&M, you know, less than an hour from each other. You know,
Are the students when
Winston-Salem,
they're that close?
Livingston.
Let me
You
ask this.
know,
Let me ask this. When the students are that close, are the students getting in their car and driving 2 hours to the road game?
so some do.
Okay. I
Some
love
do.
it. I love it if they do.
And I'm gonna tell you another reason why, at least, and I'll go back to the Tuskegee Miles. Well, one of the largest alumni chapters for Tuskegee is in Birmingham. That helps. When one of your largest, one institution has a large alumni base that lives in the city of the other one. Obviously, when you talk about Prairie View and Texas Southern, with them both being right there in the Houston metro area, you know, that's a good dynamic. Obviously, Atlanta, with the two schools right there together. So things like that all play into it. Brian, have these teams faced each other for conference championships before? So different, you know, there's a lot of different factors that go into it, Brian. You know, I hate to see it. You would think Morgan Copper State would be at one of those games that we would be talking about,
Mm.
and somebody can help me out up there in the Baltimore area. Does Morgan Copper State bring that type of atmosphere that we just saw? And they're right there in the same city with each other. Just have to ask those questions.
Morgan Coppin State, they next play March 5th. I will say in the MEAC, I've seen North Carolina Central.
Howard.
No, Norfolk State. North Carolina Central, Norfolk State.
Yeah.
Those have been good, well-attended games.
Hampton and Norfolk used to do that when they were both in the same conference.
In the CIAA, sure.
And in the MEAC together.
And in the MEAC. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I don't know if it still does that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is another good one too.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the one that's next Saturday.
Yeah.
Next Saturday.
Good question. Somebody needs to put it in their budget.
You know, I don't know.
And you know, there have been places where they run the fan bus and, you know, $25 for the students to get on the bus to go to a game or something like that. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You do it for football season. They do the fan bus for football season. Why not do it for basketball? How many of y'all do fan buses for basketball? How many of y'all do fan buses for football for your students?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. That's one I don't know if we're going to hear about through our audience. I mean, unless we got some students that might be checking the show out, but it is a question worth asking.
I'm gonna take it one step further, Brian. Be nice if some of these schools did student buses to the tournament.
Ooh, that's a challenge.
How
would you just
it wouldn't work as good in the SWAC just because of the proximity, because once you get outside of Alabama A&M and Alabama State, it's tough. But some of these other institutions, you know, CIAA could do it with those northern schools because you're talking day trips. SIAC can do it with a lot of schools being within proximity of Atlanta, day trips.
Steve
Once again, Brian, they do it for football. They leave at midnight. They get to the game by kickoff. They leave at 5 o'clock in the morning, get to the game by kickoff, and drive those students back same day. Why couldn't you do it for basketball?
I'm shocked. Okay, I'm look. That's something I didn't know. I didn't know that the CIA schools were from North Carolina were pulling up to Baltimore like that. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Everybody else, though, I think you got spring break happening, though.
I mean, yeah.
NAIA, you got spring break happening.
I mean that is a challenge because of that.
Yeah. All right.
Let's move on.
Because
I'll talk about this game all day.
Yeah, I do want to make mention on the men's side in the SWAC, the 10-game winning streak we talked about win streaks coming to an end. Bethune-Cookman's win streak came to an end. And it was actually predicted, matter of fact, by Charles Edmond on Saturday's Carlos Brown show. And I'm gonna also say this, Drew, that what Coach Van Pettaway, who I really am starting to, not that I wasn't listening, but his perspective is so unique. When he talked about teams going to Alcorn State and losing because of logistics, I was like, oh, damn. I'm like, what? And so I'm just going to sit back and play that. I've heard about losing because you got a guy that's hurt. You got all. I've never heard of anybody losing because of logistics, but leave it to a former coach in the SWAC to be able to break that down and explain it in a way that I'm like, yeah, maybe so. Logistics. He got one right, and I don't know. I'm worried about FAMU going into Alcorn on Monday because Coach Pettaway said they're gonna lose because of logistics, and I was like, oh Lord, have mercy. That's the last thing I need to hear.
You know what I'm gonna say about that, Bryan? and I'll tell Coach Pettaway this. If anybody could go in there and deal with those logistics, it's a Seminole going to the reservation. Roll the tape, Bryan.
Lord have mercy.
Gonna hand Reggie Theus the second loss, guys. I made a prediction 2 weeks ago. I almost nailed it. 68-63 Alcorn over Bethune-Cookman. Final score.
On the men's side?
On the men's side.
I'll shave my eyebrows off.
Hold up, Charles. You saying you are going to beat Bethune, man?
Yes, I'm booking it right now. 68-63 Alcorn.
All righty.
Lady Braves by 12.
Let me see if Doc Bradley can get that prediction. Let me see if Doc Bradley heard that.
If he's here, I need to go downstairs and see if he's here.
Right.
He wasn't.
All right, guys. Talk to you next week.
All right, should have quit while you were ahead on that one.
A few moments later.
6.7 remaining. The Braves on the baseline. Jameel Morris will inbound the basketball. They work on this all the time in practice, these inbound plays. Braves baseline right. Jameel Morris will inbound the basketball. 6.7 left in the 55 all game. Here's Lancaster. Floater is good. Shane Lancaster with 4.8 left. The Braves by 2. Here's Willoughby. Willoughby gets it on the give and go. Willoughby from 40 feet. No! The Braves win it! Lady Braves win 66-57.
That was priceless, Bryan.
He called not one but two upsets. He called both of them.
Well, the Lady Braves winning was not an upset, Bryan.
Hey, but hold on. He said by 12, and they won by 11. Come on, that's pretty doggone good, man. I had to give Charles some props on that, man. Plus 275 in case anybody wanted to know. Damn, 275.
You better start listening to Charles.
I gotta start listening to Charles. Look,
Charles been around a long time.
Hey, I don't know. I'm telling you, the Vegas people don't be paying attention. They had FAMU as a 2.5-point favorite at Jackson State. I guess they thought Ruffin wasn't playing. They didn't get the memo. They didn't get the memo that Ruffin was playing. I'm just like, geez, please. 2.5-point favorite, lose by 20. Oh God. Anyway, that's why you don't spend hard-earned money, entertaining yourself in this fashion.
Bryan, you don't spend hard-earned money entertaining yourself in the SWAC, period, because anything can happen on any day in any one of these gyms, Bryan.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Okay. Any other, let me see. Standings in the MEAC. Well, hold on. While we were in the SWAC, what do the standings look like in the SWAC? All right. So Bethune still has a 2-game lead over Southern now. Southern and Arkansas Pine Bluff. Both of them sit 2 games back at 8-4. The hot team is Southern. Southern has won 4 straight games. Alabama A&M and Jackson State sit at 7-5. Florida A&M, Texas Southern, both tied at 6-6. And then you got Grambling State 5-6, Alabama State, and Alcorn at 5-7. Valley is still winless. Can Valley run the table, Drew? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to phrase it that way, but it's the reality. They have 1 win. If you can name who Valley's 1 win this season is, Drew, I got a gift card to Starbucks for you.
I can tell you who it wasn't.
Nah, that's no fun. Who was Mississippi Valley State's win against this season?
In basketball. I don't know. I really don't know.
Oh, Israel. I should block you, Israel. I should block you for that. That's hardcore. We're talking basketball, Israel. See? That's dirty. That was dirty.
That's why I say
that was a low blow. That was a low blow. That was low. I felt that one. I felt that one, Doc. I felt that one. That was such a cheap shot. What is that? The standings?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. 1 win.
Was it the D2?
I mean, we've seen some pretty historically bad Valley teams. This might be historically the worst. That's my next article. How bad is this? I mean, we've seen Valley be, how many NCAA basketball teams are there, Drew? Like 380 something? Division I?
Yes.
I got a feeling Valley, and I don't know if Valley has ever, Valley's been like bottom 5 before. I don't know if they've been the worst. This might be the year where they are the worst.
Well, they are ranked last in Division I.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if anybody can surpass them. But this is the team that is going to the SWAC tournament, though, Drew. As the 12 seed in the SWAC tournament.
I hope they enjoy that dinner on Sunday night. This is the student athlete experience.
This is what y'all wanted.
That they would never have gotten were it not for the rule change.
Kids are on spring break, man. Kids are ready to go. But hey guys, our season's not over.
Bryan,
we gotta go to the
those beach reservations are still good for Tuesday.
Where is the SWAC tournament? I've seen it. It's posted. We were talking about it on the other show. The SWAC tournament schedule. Oh, here it is. Where is it? God dog it. I've seen it already.
I've got it. You want the men's bracket or the women's bracket?
I want to see. So let's do this. Let's take
a break and then come back and look at the bracket.
Yeah, let's take a break, look at the brackets, and let's kind of project as if it were to happen today. Because what I do want to ask you, Drew, is I'm interested in the format, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it. When I was looking at this on Wednesday with Live for Hoops, I was shocked at the way the SWAC format is, and I want your take on it. So let's take a break, come back, and talk about that. And also coming up today, we skipped a week. The new BCSN top 5 computer rankings. We'll see if we have some changes in the NAIA Division II or the Division I rankings. So we'll talk about the top 5 rankings here in a moment. And you guys in the chat room would do us a solid if you hit the thumbs up or the like button if you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, Instagram Live, peeps. You can't really do that, but we appreciate you watching. If you want to be a part of the chat, come on over onto the YouTube channels, my social media, my BCSN1, JBN Online is where you can find us on YouTube, or BCSN SportsWrap on YouTube and Facebook as well. We'll be back in just a moment after this short break. You're watching the BCSN SportsWrap on the Black College Sports Network.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU Sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the BCSN Sports Wrap. 80 Drew, Bryan Fulford here. Glad to be on with you again. I don't know. Jeff Roberts right about this? The lone Mississippi Valley State win can't be against the Mississippi University for women. I don't know.
I mean, they do have men's basketball there at the in Mississippi University for women.
Wow.
I'll confirm that in just a second.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You know what? Somebody just said something. Are we talking about?
Yes, that is a long win.
Damn, that's the women. Hold on. I thought
that's the men.
Is it? No, stop it.
Yes.
I'm all okay. I thought we were talking about the women, the men. Hold on. I'm all confused now. Hold on. Are you?
Yeah, the men beat Mississippi University for women.
You're lying.
No. And Bryan, you want me to tell you the worst part about that?
What? Is that really the name?
Yes. They're legitimate college program.
Mississippi. What level are they? Mississippi University for Women. The remaining games on the schedule: Alabama State, Prairie View A&M, Texas Southern, Grambling. Oh hell, they're not winning another game.
And Mississippi University Women is a Division III program.
Oh hell.
And they are located in Columbus, Mississippi.
I'm not gonna act like I know what that is.
Division III. And they are in a conference called the UMAC. I'm assuming that's University of Mississippi Athletic Conference.
That's not the same conference Sacramento State just joined, is it?
No. That's the WAC.
No, that's the MAC.
MAC, yes. The UMAC. Division III.
Oh, the
that
All-Star
means, Bryan, I agree, Blue Jacket. That should have been an exhibition, except when you know that's going to be your only, and you are up under your maximum number of games that you can count. I am going to count it. But Bryan, you know what the one advantage Valley has over Mississippi University for Women? Scholarships. Forgot D3 has no scholarships. So they beat a non-scholarship team. And they defeated them by a score of 97-61 all the way back on November 5th.
So I just did a quick little search.
Mm-hmm.
Has a Division I men's basketball team gone winless? Now, surprisingly, in this century, Drew, 4 teams have done it in this century. 2 of them are HBCUs. One of them, a team from the SWAC.
Oh, do I have the conference wrong, Jeff?
The St. Louis Intercollegiate Athletic Conference.
They are in the St. Louis Intercollegiate Athletic Conference.
That sounds like
SLIAC.
A high school conference.
The SLIAC.
Oh my goodness! Oh, I should have taken that bet. Anthony, I knew he was going to get the MVP. Anthony Edwards. Oh, I knew the format was set up for Anthony Edwards to get the MVP. God dog it! I knew that was going to happen. Oh man, that another missed opportunity this weekend. Anyway, but anyway, do you want to know who those winless teams were, Drew? I don't know why I'm bringing this up, because obviously Valley has a win under their belt. Yes. And I don't know, and to be honest with you, Drew, I don't know if this is excluding non-Division I teams. So don't fact check me, or you maybe go fact check me, but don't beat me up too bad about this, guys. Okay. The 4 winless teams in this century, from the most recent to the furthest. For some reason, this is counted. Chicago State, in the 2020-21 basketball season, they never made it into the second half of their year. They 0-9. They suspended their year. That was COVID. So I don't know if you really count that.
No.
But on the record books, it is counted. So, but here's 3 other schools. Does anyone remember the 2012-2013 Grambling State Tigers finishing 0-28? finished with a double-digit loss margin in 27 of 28 games. Damn. Now, again, I don't know if that excludes or includes any non-Division I games. Maybe that Grambling State team did beat some non-Division I opponents. In 2007, 2008, Drew, NJIT, you know what that stands for?
That's New Jersey Institute of Technology.
Yes. They went 0-29. They were part of a 51-game losing streak during their Division I transition. Yeah. And then 2004, 2005, I think this might have been when they were in the MEAC. Savannah State went 0-28.
That was the dark ages for Savannah State athletics, period. That was
MEAC time.
30,
finished with a 30-game losing streak.
Yes. They were in the MEAC.
Now, back when we were either just about to go to college or in college, there's the 91-92 Prairie View A&M Panthers.
That was the dark ages of Prairie View.
Went 0-28. Had 0 games decided by fewer than 10 points. So no game was decided by fewer than 10 points.
Right. And who was it? EA asked me, what is the male female demographics at the school that we are talking about, the University of Mississippi for women in Columbus? As of the fall 2025 demographic, they were 76.7% female.
Doc said no scholarship for Prairie View 91-92.
Yeah, that's what I said. That was during the dark ages.
So while we're talking about the fact that Valley may not win a second game this season, if this does happen, Drew, this would be the second time in 3 seasons that they finished with 1 win. Because you do know, or maybe you didn't, in 23-24, I'm talking 2 years ago, they finished 1-30. Can anyone name Valley's 1 win from that season?
Brian, the question is, does anybody care?
Oh, that's a great trivia question, though, Drew.
Yeah. One other stat while everybody is looking that up, the demographic makeup of the Mississippi University of Mississippi School for Women, they are 55% Caucasian, 36.3% African American, 8.6% other.
Yeah, the 23-24 Valley season, Drew. I remember we talked about this.
I don't remember.
Let me just say, Drew.
Was it a SWAC opponent?
It is a SWAC opponent. It was. And it was very late in the season, too, Drew.
Was it FAMU?
And you know what? All I'm going to say is, hold on. I'm going to stop right here. Because I'm going to tell you their remaining opponents this year. And what's funny is when I looked at their remaining opponents, I said, man, I didn't say this, but I thought it. And I said, if anybody is going to give Valley a win, it's this opponent. And let me see if you figure it out. I'm going to give you the rest of their schedule. Starting Monday, Alabama State. Then next week or Thursday, they host Prairie View. Then Saturday, host Texas Southern. Then they travel to Grambling State. then travel to UAPB, travel to Alcorn, travel to Jackson State. Last 4 games are on the road. Care to guess who the team is that I was thinking of that might give Valley their first win in conference play?
I got 2 candidates.
Hold on, let me get Let me get my sound. Let me get my sound effects, because if you're right, I'm gonna give you some praise. Go ahead.
Doc, close your ears, but Prairie View has not been having a good year, so I think they're candidate number 1.
Bingo. That's who exactly I was thinking of. That's exactly who I was thinking of. That's who I was thinking of.
And I was going to say candidate number 2 would be Alcorn for me.
Ooh. No, not Alcorn. I couldn't see Alcorn. And that's a road game. I can't see a winless Valley team going on the road. Their last 2 home games are Prairie View and Texas Southern. They are not going on the road and winning. I'm sorry. Just not. I don't see it happening. Yes, they gave PV a run early. But again, and guess who, Drew? That was the team that allowed them to end their 20s. That was the only win they got that season 2 years ago. On senior night, they beat Prairie View for their first win and only win of the year.
Now, here's the thing, Brian. I guarantee you Brian Smith is going to remember that.
Oh, of course he will. Of course. Yes, you will. You have to remember that. You have to remember that. And if you were to lose that game again,
Brian, if they were to lose that game again, I know 2 people. I know 2 people who know how he would feel. Valley did it to us in football, Brian.
It cost the man his job too. Could very well cost another man. I hate to pass those dispersions upon people, but it could cost somebody a job. You lose that game. Sorry. All right, let's take a look at the tournament brackets, Drew, because that's what we wanted to talk about.
Which side, men or women?
Let's talk about the men, since I got the men's standings up. Let's talk about the men.
And I got the bracket right here.
Okay.
Clear the comments for right now.
Yep. Okay. So, again, this year in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, all 12 teams get in. Now, if you notice the way this bracket is set up, if you are essentially one of the top 6 teams, the top half of the bracket basically is playing on a normal Wednesday, Friday, Saturday kind of run. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Right? But the catch is, if you are as you can see, the bottom 4 teams, the 10 and 11 play each other. The 9 and 12 play each other. So as it stands right now, right, Valley is the 12 seed. And the team that's in the 11th of the 9th spot is Alabama State. Right? And I would tell you that's about as close to a bye game as you're gonna get, because them Valley dudes are checked out, man. They got 1 foot on the bus. They got the Gucci bags all packed.
1, 2, 3 spring break.
Exactly. 1, 2, 3 spring break, guys. That if you ever wanted to take a game that was who knows? I'm talking this ish. I could be wrong. Okay, so but I don't think so. And then on the other side is the 10-11 matchup. And right now, that would be a matchup between Alcorn State and Prairie View as it stands right now. Now, what's interesting here, Drew, is that let's just say for, practical purposes, if you're one of those bottom 4 seeds, you realize, look at how far you have to go just to get to the championship game, Drew. You have to literally win 1, 2, 3. You got to win 4 games just to get to the championship game. Now, I've seen this happen in other tournaments. It's not foreign. It's happened. Remember the Syracuse Orangemen in the Big East? This was a few years back, maybe a decade ago. But they actually made a run like that, where they went 4 games in 4 days. Yeah, exactly. That too. UConn, Kemp, 5 games in the
Bryan, we hired a coach who was part of a staff that did that at North Carolina State a couple of years ago.
Thank you. Yes.
He's our current basketball coach.
Right. So I guess the challenging part of all this is if one of those teams get hot, let's say those bottom 4 teams, Alabama State, Alcorn State, Prairie View, or somehow Valley, somebody gets hot. You walk into the semifinals having 2 games under your belt, going up against a team that has been sitting around Atlanta for about 2 or 3 days. Do you like the way this format is set up, Drew?
I mean, the format is set up how you would expect it to be. Although I would love to see a format where the 1s and the 2s, or at least the 1s, the top 2 are protected to the semifinal, but nobody's going to do that. But Bryan, I'm going to be honest with you. I'd much rather, from a competitive standpoint, I'd probably rather be in that 3-6 or 4-5 game. Because I am facing a team on the same amount of rest who's going to have to go through the same logistical challenges of being on the road at a tournament. Challenge number one, finding a place to practice.
Yep.
And it happened last year. I know it's going to happen again this year. There's going to be a lot of people blowing up my cell phone, or my athletic director's cell phone, or my head coach's cell phone.
Can we get in the gym?
Can we get in the Forbes?
How hospitable were y'all last year?
Oh, we were very hospitable because we lost in the first round of the SIAC tournament. So the gym was empty.
The season's over.
and it was spring break. So you didn't have to worry about classes also. So once again, it is doing spring break at FAMU, at Morehouse, and at Clark Atlanta. So that helps. And there were teams I know that practiced over at Clark Atlanta last year. So it's something that helps. There will be teams that'll try to go to Georgia State, Kennesaw State. They'll try to go to wherever. And most of the time, you're hospitable to them, because there have been times when we've been traveling that we've practiced at other institutions' facilities. So you try to reciprocate it as much as you can. Now, the challenge is, Bryan, Morehouse is in first place in the SIAC East. Clark Atlanta is in second place in the SIAC East. Should one or both of those teams make the NCAAs on the Division II level, those teams will be practicing during that week as they prepare to go to the NCAAs. So that would eliminate some practice time for some of those participants. But that is one challenge. But you want, like I say, you want to be with that 3-6 or 4-5, so that both teams are coming in on equal rest.
I agree. I agree. Great point.
Now here's the thing, Bryan. I've seen it in the SIAC, who's has a similar type format. I've seen it in the CIAA, who's has a similar type format. Somebody who has sat for 2 days, 3 days, is going to lose in the first round. Men or women. Don't know who it will be. But the numbers say one of those teams coming off the bye, you have four teams that will be facing somebody coming off of a double bye.
Yep.
2 men, 2 women. One of those 4 teams will lose. Mark my word. You can go back and play this on, let's see, March 11th. We can go back and play this on March 12th. One of the 4 teams, one of the top 2 men or top 2 women will lose. Heck, we saw it last year with 10, Brian.
Yes. Yes, we did. We did see it last year with 10.
We saw who beat Southern last year on the men's side.
It happened on the women's side.
Southern on the women's side.
Valley beat FAMU.
Yeah.
The 10-7 game, I think.
No, I'm not talking about was that the 10-7? No, that was the play-in. But that was a play-in. I'm talking about after the play-in. Somebody got to win.
You mean somebody? I don't know.
Somebody who had played the play-in game, beat somebody the next night. That was at home sitting.
I know that happens in the CIAA practically every year.
And it definitely happens at the SIAC every year.
Yeah.
Heck, it happened 2 games last year.
All right. So I didn't think about that, but I love that thought process of now here's an interesting dilemma. Can anybody now you have insider information. Hold on before you go to
women's bracket.
Hold on, because this is a great question by EA. Would somebody be crazy enough to take a fine and not show up until Tuesday?
Oh, yeah. Somebody would be crazy enough. Yeah. Somebody would be.
Somebody says, we're not showing up for the banquet on Sunday. Would you fine us if you want?
I'm going to tell you the other thing in the SIAC when we used to have the banquet pre-tournament, and we would be later on in the week when we would play. If it was logistically possible, we would go to the banquet and go back home for those 2 days of practice in our own gym.
Okay, I could see that. But who could do that? Well,
there's only 2 teams that can really do that.
FAMU could do it because they're 4 hours away.
Okay, 3 teams, but I don't know if I would do it at FAMU, but the 2 Alabama teams definitely could.
The Alabama teams could do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. So, but that was something else that we would do.
Huh. Yeah, especially if you play. Well, look, here's your point. If you play if you're the 4, 5, 3, 6 who don't play until March 12th,
go home. And the banquet's on the 8th.
The banquet's on the 8th. Come to the banquet, go home, and then leave on the 11th and come back.
Now, here's the challenge with that, Brian. If those kids are on spring break at the institution, you are stuck with them anyway. You already got to do bills, and you may have to provide housing because the dorms may be closed. So in that case, we might as well stay here in Atlanta.
Do they still do that? Where come on, like you can't get access to your room when the
so it just depends on the institution, Brian. I'm just throwing it out there. But that is a challenge because some of these teams will be on spring break.
Yes,
during this tournament.
All right, that's a great question. I'm going to ask an administrator. I know a few administrators. I'm going to have to ask the question. Okay. So just with Drew's scenario, the 3, 4, 5, and 6 seeds currently in the men in the SWAC are Arkansas Pine Bluff, Alabama A&M, Jackson State, and I think because of tie-breaking rules, it would be Texas Southern and not Florida A&M because head-to-head, Texas Southern beat Florida A&M.
Only one matchup this year?
Only one matchup.
Yes, then that would be correct.
Okay.
Should they finish tied?
Okay. All right. So those are the 3 teams that play. And I think that's an easier run. Again, having to play March 12th, 13th, and 14th, 3 games in 3 days without having to sit around. That's a great analysis, Drew. I love the way you just handled that. I'd love that. That's a great breakdown. I did not think of it in that way, but I'm going to have to keep that in mind when I go to handicap this tournament, looking at possibly a 3, 4, 5, or 6 seed team to win this tournament. Good stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at the women's. Let's take a look at the women's, Drew, and what it looks like on the women's side right now. Okay, again, we're just talking about the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And because this is a new bracket format that the SWAC is doing, this is why we're doing it or looking at this. The 12 seed right now is Prairie View A&M, winless in the SWAC. They would play the 9 seed Texas Southern. How about that? That's a there you go. There's a rivalry matchup. And then the 10 seed is Bethune-Cookman, and the 11 seed is Mississippi Valley State. The 1 seed right now would be Alabama A&M. The 2 seed would be Alcorn State. They are 1 game behind Alabama A&M. And then there's a 2-game gap between 2 and 3. So if we go to your analysis, Drew, the way of talking about the 3, 4, 5, and 6, Southern's the 3, Alabama State's the 4, Grambling State is the 5, and then there are 3 teams tied at 6, UAPB, Jackson State, FAMU, and I think UAPB owns the tiebreaker. But UAPB has lost, their women, they've lost 2 games in a row. So who knows? Maybe they keep sliding, or maybe they get back on a winning streak. But if that scenario plays out, Drew, I love Southern. I love Southern based on your thinking and the thought process that you now have me looking at as being one of those middle tier teams.
Yeah. Charles Edmond brought up a great point yesterday on the Carlos Brown show, and I think it's good. We've got 3 different races going on, Brian.
We do?
Possibly 4. Obviously, you've got the race to get the bye, to try to get to 1 of the 2 seed.
Yeah. Okay.
Then there's a second race that's going on to avoid the play-in games. Which is going to be your 7 and 8. Which is going to be your 7 and 8. So there's a race going on to make sure you're in. If you're not 1 or 2, then you're fighting to be 3 through 6.
Right. You're fighting to be top 6.
Top 6.
Which right now there's a 3-way tie. There's a 3-way tie for 6th, and you're technically a half a game behind Grambling State, who has played 1 less game right now due to scheduling.
Right. So, like I say, you're fighting to be in those spots right there. You're fighting to be either the top 2, top 6. Then, even those teams at the bottom, Brian, you don't want to have to play on Monday. Monday extra game, maybe.
Monday is Monday, March 9th?
Yes. 1 extra game, maybe. 2 extra games, nobody wants to play 2 extra games. So you got multiple things, which is why, Brian, we've always said this. All games matter.
Look at I want you again to look at the advantage, and I'm is it advantage? I don't know. The 1 seed who plays on a Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. again, I don't understand the formatting and the scheduling, Drew. I'm the 1 seed. How am I playing at 11 a.m.?
Max rest.
Wouldn't Max Rest be playing at 5:30?
No. You want max rest because look at your championship scenario, Brian. If you're the 1 seed,
Oh,
you're
okay.
essentially
The
playing at the same time.
championship game. I
Where if
got
you're
you.
coming out the bottom half of the bracket,
I got you. Okay.
you're gonna play Friday night and then flip around and have to play early Saturday.
Okay.
So
I got you.
So you want to be in the top half of the bracket because all your games are early.
Yeah, the only time it really matters though
It's a championship game. Now, one thing I will say, Brian, I love the swag. I love this format. I don't like the every other game scenario. And what I mean by that, women, men, women, men. The other 3 conferences do the women during the day and the men in the evening.
Why do you know why is that? Why do you know why the SIC does that? I mean, I don't know why the SWAC does it this way.
The same reason you won't see women playing in the HBCU NBA Classic. The big games tend to draw. So you're going to have the big games when you're going to tend to get a larger crowd, which is going to be in the evening while people are off of work.
But isn't this format promoting the opportunity for you to at least come in by halftime of the women's game? If you're going to come to see a men's game, you're most likely to arrive by halftime of the women's game if you don't arrive by tip-off.
Brian, I'm not going. I hope nobody comes off of me being sexist on when I'm making this comment.
No,
but this is, but I'm just making a business sense comment. If you were to have a morning session of women and a evening session of men, you're gonna draw. Your men's session is going to draw more than your women's session. Even if you were to flip them, you're still going to get more people available in the evening. The only people who tend to come to the early games, Ryan, men or women, are mamas and girlfriends or boyfriends, family members.
Gotcha.
Who else is going to take off during the day? Obviously, if you're traveling, that's different. But I'm talking about, especially with the local fan. The local fan is going to come to the evening session because they can get off work. They can leave work an hour early and be at that 5:30 if they need to. Well, this Atlanta, you might need to leave 2 hours early. But anyway, especially going out there by the airport. But it's just yeah, Brian, just something to think about. But the other 3 conferences tend to break them up with the women in during the day session and the men in the evening session.
All right, good stuff, Drew. We'll do a little more bracket predictions or bracket analysis coming up down the road. Let me ask you a question, Drew. Sidebar here. Because I just happened to flip to HBCU Game Day. Who took this amazing photo of Sincere Moore shooting this jump shot?
Pull it up so everybody can see what you're talking about if you can.
I mean, this is, you guys got to this is an iconic shot because this is one of these photos that you can stare at it and you can watch like a million reactions in the background and you'll be like, damn, look at that person.
Yeah, I know what shot you're talking about.
Look at that person. Hold on. I think I got it on another screen. Ah, shoot. Hold on. Hold on. Give me a second. It's on HBCU game day. Outstanding shot by whomever. Hold on, let me see if I can
And I can answer your question, but I want everybody else to see it.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. The photo, the shot. Is that? Can we call it? Is it too soon to call it the shot?
Only if we win a championship, Bryan.
I mean, I'm looking at it, Drew. Look at I'm watching. I mean, if you just look at Coach Dixon. I mean, there are
look
so
at the
many.
official. Look at the referee next to him.
Huh?
Look at the referee next to him.
Yeah. Look at the scores table. There's a girl at the scores table with her hand over her mouth.
One of my student workers.
Okay. In the row behind them, there's somebody in a blue sweatshirt. He's even got his hands over his mouth like, oh, God. Hold on. There's an OG in the background who didn't get up. He's seated trying to look over people, and he's looking like, huh? There's even a brother in a Clark Atlanta, almost like a starter jacket. He's just got a nasty look on his face like, oh, God, please don't let that go. I mean, who took this photo, Drew? I love photos like this, man.
That was actually one of my students off of our student media team, Marquise Bragg.
Wow, Marquise, kudos to you, brother.
Yes.
Wow, what a shot.
And let me tell you how I wound up with this photo. Because I put the photo, and thank you, Steve, for regurgitating using that same photo. But I have a student who's over my student content team. His name is Jordan Phillips. And after the game, every game, usually, we take a look at the stat sheet and figure out who our player of the game is. And okay, send me a picture of so and so and so and so that I can put him as the picture on the story, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And Josiah Lawson was our leading scorer this game. He had 27 points in this particular game. Right. So I shot the text. I don't even remember. No, I called. I actually had called him. This is about an hour after the game. I said, send me a picture of Josiah. Unless you got a shot of board making that last shot. He said, actually, I do, because they were putting together their own reels and all the stuff that they were doing from the content side. So he had already pulled this picture.
Wow.
And he's like, I'm supposed to send it to you. And he sent it to me. I'm like, oh my God, yes.
I'm guessing he is in the upper deck in the corner.
You've been to our arena.
Yes.
Okay. He is broadcast side, obviously, because he's opposite the table.
Yep.
You know the stairs that come down on the side.
Yep.
That would lead you to the foyer.
Yep.
He is standing on that platform up there by
that's where
to the stairs was, and that's where because they just rotate around throughout the game, just getting different shots at different angles. But one thing I've learned about him, he likes to shoot from that mid-level.
Yeah.
And he just happened to be up there and took it and got it. And yes, great job, Marquise, man. That was
what I love about the photo is it captured. First off, this is something I'm trying to teach young high school students, the rule of thirds, right? But I love the fact that you see the ball coming off the hand, and two, you see the basket. You see the basket to the right side, and then you have so much room where you just capture the faces. I mean, that is a shot that I mean, if that doesn't get that young man some kind of an award, my God, somebody needs to submit that into the photojournalism awards, because that shot is a money shot. Wow. Damn, that's a nice photo.
Bryan, actually, that's not the full shot. That is cropped.
Oh, yes. I figured it was cropped. It's cropped perfectly, though.
Because they did it vertical. I cropped the photo. But I'm actually I'm a down.
Well, when you take it this way, you can do. There's so many things you can do with it.
Yeah, it's vertical, but I'm actually getting ready to. Let me see. I'm actually pull up the full vertical photo of it, Bryan, so that you can see how great this shot was. Since we are out there on this.
Get that young man's name again. That young man, boy.
Marquise Bragg.
What's that last name? Bragg.
Bragg.
Hey, I love it already. Love that last name, Marquise Bragg. I mean, perfect last name.
I know, especially for somebody who works for a Rattler.
Exactly. Shout out Marquise Bragg, man. What a photo, man. That is awesome.
Here is the all right. Did it load yet? Okay, here's the full vertical photo.
Oh, wow.
That's even better.
So when he took it as a vertical.
Yes, and I cropped it into a horizontal.
Oh man, see, first off, okay, so
but because that's how they do their content. All content.
I was gonna say, so that part is what I find really funny because young people today, they shoot everything vertical. They don't buy into landscape. So the fact that he shot it like that and you cropped it the way, but he's still, even vertical is still awesome because, it does show everything.
And look at, now you can really see the crowd. Look at even more crowd reaction.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. I'm zooming in. I'm just looking. You got a good mix of people with phones and people. I'm still bugging off the OG who didn't want to get up. I'm bugging. I'm like, he's like, I can see. I'm not gonna look. Oh, I'm not getting up for this. He's like, I'm not getting up. Everybody else is on their feet. Oh man, this is, this is one of those shots, Drew, that when you come into Morehouse, this is a photo that you guys have to prominently put somewhere like I said, whether you guys, no matter what you guys do, this is a shot that people will say, that people will spend minutes looking at the shot, and they will spend even more time looking at the faces in the background. You have to date this. The Valentine's dagger.
Valentine's Day massacre.
The Valentine's Day dagger. Something. I don't know. Give it a catchy name. I don't know. Whatever. Make that a contest. Make that a contest that you guys do on campus. Name this, caption this.
And Bryan, can I take this to one more level? What this victory was. This is the conclusion of Founders Week, with February 14th, 1867 being our Founders Day.
Wow. Best basketball rivalry right there, summed up in one shot, in one shining moment. Damn.
Let's get to these polls, man.
All right. Woo, man.
How did that victory affect the rankings?
How did that victory affect the rankings? How did that victory exactly? Emmett, 100%. As a kid who grew up with Sports Illustrated, that would be on the inside. That would be like that should be submitted to Sports Illustrated, Drew. They still do that. Somebody submit that photo to Sports Illustrated, man. That is a great photo. Marquise Bragg. I'm gonna get that kid. I'm gonna keep saying that kid's name because that's a hell of a shot.
Anybody need a photographer? A photographer crew? Roy, you missed the first hour. That's why
you're late. We did show the video.
We showed the video for Roy.
We
did show it, bro. Roy, we know how to do this. You sit over there as CEO and let us podcast.
Let's get to the top five before we get in trouble.
Bryan, just so we can make him happy. I'm gonna
No,
play it.
no. Don't do that. No, we've already shown it.
Don't play it one last time.
I will say shout out to Roy, to Kim, the production crew. Great job again. Great job, Sly. Great job, Simone. Everybody, great. I enjoyed watching it on the Maroon Tiger Sports Network, part of the SIC.
Oh, it's a 7-second difference. With the game clock and the shot clock.
Yes,
Morehouse has to add to their lead here. Peters looking for the inbound pass. Gets it to White. Moore has it. Lawson to White. Shot clock at 10. Game clock at 15. Lead is 2 for Morehouse.
Listen to the angst of the
Cecile
crowd.
Moore with 5 seconds to
Like,
go.
come on, man, shoot the ball. Shoot the ball.
Spins.
Shoot the ball.
Puts up a long 2.
Sincere Moore has the crowd on his feet. Oh my goodness. Sincere Moore threw up a prayer and somebody answered. Take a look at the replay. Look at Sincere.
The footwork. The crafty dribble for long 2. Extending the lead to 4 and popping the roof off Forbes Arena. The leading scorer for the Morehouse College Maroon Tigers comes up clutch.
Wait a
Just for
minute.
you, Roy. And
The crafty dribble. Simone, there was no crafty dribble. It was like, hey, I love she threw it in there, though. The crafty dribble, the ridiculous turnaround. Oh, my God.
that was just emotion. And I do have to get this. Yes, I did, Roy. Yes, I did. Shout out to the crew from the Black College Sports Network who actually produced that game for me. Roy as the director and producer, Kim Wright, Ja, and John Lindo on camera. Great job. That's why I hired y'all.
I love the angst in the crowd. When it was getting to about 5 seconds on the clock, you could hear the crowd like, come on, man. Come on. We got to do something with this. You know, you could hear the crowd. Simone, she did a great job on that, man. She did a wonderful job. I tell you, man, watching these young people like Simone and Liv, man, they're going to be superstars, Drew. And, you know, I don't know. We'll still be doing our podcast. But, I mean, you know, hope they don't forget about us when they make it to the big time.
Oh, yeah, I've given Simone the opportunity to get much tape so that she could advance her career.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Congrats,
now we can get to the polls.
All right, here we go. Let's start with the NAIA?
Yes, let's start with the
NAIA.
Right.
Time for the BCSN top 5 rankings. College basketball, NAIA. Let's start on the women's side. That's D2.
And we're just going straight to it.
All right, so we're going to start with the D2 side.
Oh, wrong one.
It's all right. It's already up. It's already up.
Go.
Yeah. Well,
we'll go NAIA.
All right, so we'll go back here. The NAIA women's top 5. Just missing the top 5: Wiley, Talladega, Xavier, and Philander Smith. Paul Quinn at number 5, Rust at 4, Arkansas Baptist at 3, Oakwood at 2, and the Langston Lions, who, as just mentioned, had a 15-game winning streak snapped last night.
And winning streak is almost as large as the margin is in our poll, Brian.
I mean, at this point, it's a walk-off at this point. Let me make mention over in the HBCU AC. I just happen to have the standings up. You see Oakwood there at number 2. Right now in the HBCU AC, they are at 10-1 right now in conference through 11 games played in conference, 16-7 overall. That's on the eastern side. You see Rust there. Rust is in second with a 7-2 conference record, 13-10 overall. On the west side, Wiley, who Wiley, and it's interesting. Wiley is actually in first. It's a tight race there on the west side. Wiley's in first place, 7-2. Paul Quinn is 8-3 in second place. Arkansas Baptist Independent, is that correct?
Yes.
Well, that's Sooner.
That's they're independent. They're independent. They're
Okay, they're
CAC.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Moving on.
So let's go to the men. All right. On the men's side, the Langston men are still in first place. Number 5 is Xavier. 4 is Stillman. 3 is Tougaloo. Arkansas Baptist and Independent is in second. And Langston, I remember the last time there was a very thin margin between Langston and Arkansas Baptist.
Arkansas Baptist took an L this week. Well, since our last ranking.
Yeah, I was just looking at Langston. Langston is 16-5 or 16-4, 21-5 on the season. Having a great year, of course. Coach Chris Wright doing a great job over there at Langston. So shout out to Langston, top 5. I think they've been number 1 all season. Langston women and men have been top 5 all season in our rankings.
Yes.
All right.
They're looking to be wire to wire.
Nothing to be now, the only thing that could get in their way is if they were to stumble or Arkansas Baptist can't do. Is Arkansas Baptist a legit squad that could actually make it to the NAIA tournament as an independent?
Yes, because even as an independent, they play for lack of a better word, an independent tournament to get to the NAIAs. If they make it to the championship game of that said tournament, they would get a bid.
Gotcha. All right, let's move over to the Division II rankings. Well, Lane has dropped a little bit since the last time we did this. Lane and Clark Atlanta sit outside the top 5. Virginia State comes in at number 5. Edward Waters, who you mentioned, is on a 10-game winning streak, moved up to 4. 3 is Miles.
Look at the difference.
Well, yeah, I was going to say Miles still nationally ranked, right?
Yes.
0.02. 0.02 of a point. That's thin. Fayetteville State actually coming in at number 3. And the number 1 team.
Give me number 2. Fayetteville State, number 2.
I'm sorry, Fayetteville State at number 2. The number 1 team, Winston-Salem State,
back at
who
top,
just defeated Shaw 78-40. They finished an unbeaten home record, 13-0. They've won 22 regular season games, which is now a school record. Can we just give Coach Terry the Coach of the Year award? And do we really need to? Does she need to fit? Can we just go ahead and can the CIAA just go ahead and announce it now?
Brian,
I know
I would, but that Fayetteville State team, who is in that same division, has defeated them, and should Fayetteville State knock them out of the tournament?
Well, but don't they do the regular season?
That would be a regular season award.
Season, right?
Yeah, that would be a regular season award. So yes, but
okay.
on the national level, she still has some competition.
So on your the way you were setting that up, is there a scenario where Winston-Salem State could miss the NCAA tournament?
I would doubt it.
All right.
I would doubt it. Hold on. Let me look at the projections, because I had the projections pulled up earlier. Can you control it? Go on to the next one, and then I could give you the D2 projections.
What? Go to the men?
Yeah, go to the men while I work on the D2 projections.
Okay, D2 men's rankings. Here we go. Just outside of the top 5, Tuskegee, Clark Atlanta, Morehouse, and Bluefield State. This is the Division II men's. And 5th is Virginia State. Miles comes in at number 4. Claflin at 3. Fayetteville State, number 2 in the men as well as the women's rankings. And the number 1 team is Virginia Union.
All right. Regional rankings come out this Wednesday, Brian. The first set of regional rankings, but based on the on Ink Block Sports, who is usually right on point with their projections. On the women's side, out the CIAA in the Atlantic region, Winston-Salem is 3, Fayetteville State is 5, Virginia State is 12. So that's what we're looking at in the Atlantic region. Switching over to the South region, which is where the SIAC teams play at. Miles is 2, Edward Waters is 6, and Lane is 7. Your next SIAC team is going to be Benedict, who is sitting at 12, Brian. So in theory, we could see 5 women's teams in the rankings. 3 from the SIA, I mean in the tournament. 3 from the SIAC, 2 from the CIAA.
All right.
And I'll give you just a second. I'll get to the men's rankings for you, Brian.
Again, we're looking at the NCAA predictive rankings at the Division II level.
And looking at the men's side, wait a minute.
Fascinating everything that's going on here right now, folks. I think you see Drew taking a call while he's doing 3 things at once.
Not that life never stops, Brian. Life never stops.
Not even during this show.
No, it doesn't.
All right. Well, I mean, we don't need it right now, Drew. It's not, it's let's just get to these rankings. All right, I'm gonna go over to the Division I side of the women's rankings here. And on the women's side, Maryland Eastern Shore, just outside of the top 5, followed up by Alabama State and Coppin State. Coppin State, who I think has won 5 games in a row, starting to make some noise. Southern comes in at number 5. 4 is Alcorn State, second place in the SWAC. Norfolk State still getting love, number 3. Howard avenges an earlier season loss to Maryland Eastern Shore, and they are in second place. And is that right, Drew? Based on the points?
that number is incorrect.
Okay.
Is
Howard too?
No, it's the ranking is right. The number is incorrect. That should be 88.
For who?
Alabama A&M.
Okay. All right. Alabama A&M is in first right now.
Yeah, that should be 88-43.
All right. So just a couple of points ahead of Howard. Just looking at the standings right now over in the MEAC, Howard sits at 8-1, 19-7 overall, 7-game winning streak right now for the Lady Bison. Norfolk State is 8-2, winners of 3 in a row. Maryland Eastern Shore has kind of come back down a little bit off their perch. They have dropped to 7-2. They've lost the last 2 games. And a new team that's sort of making their way into the mix is Coppin State. We mentioned Coppin State. They have
like
won
4 or
5
5
games in a row.
It's 5. Okay, I do.
5,
like that.
5 in a row. They're 6-4 in conference play. They only have a 9-18 overall record, but who knows? I mean, Coppin. Let me just take a quick peek and see who Coppin has Who have they beaten on this streak? Okay, that's why. They've beaten Central, North Carolina Central, South Carolina State, Delaware State. They played an NAIA and Washington Adventist and Morgan State. So
they won what they were supposed to win.
They won the game. So now it gets interesting because the 21st, which is Saturday, they play Maryland Eastern Shore. Then they play Howard and Norfolk State. So the next 3 games, either Coppin State is going to fall back into being a pretender or they're actually going to be a contender.
Bryan, wasn't there a point in time where we was talking about with Maryland Eastern Shore, either men or women be sitting in the position that they were at the start of the year?
That damn snow thing really messed them up. It really screwed up the momentum and the mojo that they had going. They really had a thing going, and I don't think they haven't been the men. I don't think either program has been.
They haven't been the same since.
They haven't been the same since
the ice stalled.
Yeah, the ice stall. I like that. Yeah.
Going back to the Division II quickly, Bryan, and thank you, Blue Jacket. Blue Jacket obviously uses Inkblot Sports also. In the Atlantic region on the men's side, Union is 5, Fayetteville is 7, and no other CIAA team is really in shouting distance outside of a miracle run in the tournament. And in the South region, Tuskegee is sitting at 5, Clark Atlanta is sitting 6, Miles is sitting 8, and Morehouse is sitting 12 in the regional rankings. So,
all right, let's take a look at the Division I men's rankings.
Oh, we're going backwards. Okay, go back down to the NAIA.
What's that?
I said we just finished the women, so we got to go. We got to get back down to the NAIA. So we're doing a reverse order on the men.
I'm lost. What are you talking about?
All right, keep going.
We've already gone through this is the last one.
All right, keep going.
All right. Top 5 for the men. Outside of the top 5, Morgan State, North Carolina Central, and Norfolk State. UAPB, number 5. Interesting. Southern at 4. Tennessee State. I was just looking up on the OVC website. Tennessee State, you can see they're 3 ranked. They just lost yesterday, which dropped them out of first place into a tie for second in the OVC. They are 1 game behind UT Martin. Tennessee State is 11-5 in conference play, tied with Southeast Missouri. Tennessee State is 11-5, 17-9 overall. When I look at their upcoming schedule here this week, just to see what Tennessee State's upcoming schedule is looking like here. This week, they take on Thursday, they take on Lindenwood, and then they take on SIU on Saturday. And they close the season, Drew, on the road at Southern Missouri or Southeast Missouri and at UT Martin. Wow, the schedulers could not have gotten it even, you couldn't have dreamt how that was going to turn out, right? It always seems to work out this way, right? The schedulers always seem to.
Lindenwood beat Tennessee State, if I remember, earlier this season. Am I correct on that? I'm going off the top of my head.
I'm going to pull it up here. I was just on that page, and let's see. No. They beat Lindenwood 96-86 at Lindenwood.
All right.
So these are Tennessee State's last 2 home games. So they end the season on next Saturday against SIUE. But again, as I mentioned, they close out it essentially if they close out and finish with 4 consecutive wins, but more importantly, those last 2 games on the road, they could win the regular season in the OVC. And the OVC is that one of the tournaments that they really make it advantageous for you to be
top seed.
Top 2?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like you almost have a bid into the semifinals when you're the top 2 teams. It's like you're automatically in the semifinals the way they're seeded.
They protect their top seeds.
They protect their top seeds. And it is a 1-bid league. So, you know, it is what it is. Over on the Howard is the number 2 team. Howard right now, let's see, standing in 2nd place.
Behind Morgan State.
Behind Morgan State. But Howard has a 16-10 overall record. Morgan State has won 6 games in a row, Drew. And you see them starting to, if they keep that winning streak going, I got a feeling Morgan State may be in the top 5 next week. And, of course, the number 1 team, Bethune-Cookman, who just lost yesterday on a inbound play at the end of the game to Alcorn on the road. Now they'll travel to Jackson State and see if they can get back to winning. What did you think of that inbound play, by the way?
I ran it.
Yeah.
It's actually a basic. It's a basic inbound play.
It is. I looked like the guy who was open was actually the guy who popped to the outside on the ball side.
Yeah.
I mean, now that would have been a jump shot compared to a basket at the rim.
Shot at the rim, yes.
You know, but, you know, I was just surprised that he got the shot off anyway. So there's our top 5, the BCSN top 5 computer rankings for this week. And hopefully we'll have those out on social media Monday or Tuesday. Let people kind of chew on those and debate them all they want. All right, Drew. Well, let's close up with some final takes and final thoughts. What do you got? Let's close it up. Final take, final thought. Any other last bits of news you want to make mention of before we close the door?
Okay, I just have one thing. Especially if you're in the Atlanta area on Saturday, Morehouse will be hosting the ATL Lacrosse Invitational at BT Harvey Stadium, where you will see some of the top lacrosse teams on the NCAA side come into an HBCU to play this game. Obviously, we know the greatest lacrosse player, although he was not from an HBCU, was an African-American, that being one Jim Brown. So I'm excited about it. I'm not excited about the work I have to do to get prepared for it, but I am excited about the actual event, and that we get opportunity to host this event on our campus.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh, and those games will be streamed on ESPN Plus.
All right. My final note will be the recent hire as one more college football program finds their head man. And I think that leaves the number down to 1.
No comment.
Dawson Odoms is back on the sidelines as he was introduced this past week as the new head coach at Bowie State. Odoms, of course, spent close to a decade or maybe a little bit more at Southern University, winning a SWAC championship, a few other appearances. Then he moved over to the MEAC and tried to rebuild the Norfolk State Spartans. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to do that. And he left that program.
And for the non-HBCU football fans, Now you have a docuseries on BET showing Mike Vick's journey at Norfolk State.
Oh yeah, did that start?
Yes, it did. It started about 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Well, there we go.
I saw the first episode. I missed the second.
Yeah.
I believe
It'll
it
be
comes
interesting to
on
see.
Wednesday nights. Wednesday nights,
What
10
night?
o'clock. Wednesday night, 10 o'clock Eastern.
All right. I have to look for it. I don't know. I don't get that excited about docuseries.
I don't either. But
yeah, I don't know, for whatever reason. I do think the Odom's hire, it'll be interesting to see, can Bowie State get back to a place of relevance where they were, and it wasn't that long ago. It was really like, Damon Wilson had built that program
4 years ago.
And we were talking about them as being the premier Division II HBCU football program.
Speaking of Damon Wilson, Brian, is he on the clock? We're coming up on we're coming up on a recruiting cycle, on a recruiting class, 4 years.
When you see what, well, you know what? When you look at, when you juxtapose it against what two first-year coaches, well, at least one of the two first-year coaches just did, you're going to have to, people in more, and I don't know, again, I don't know what Morgan values, and I don't know how Morgan State values their football. They've been doing a lot of losing. So
for a lot of years,
least over a lot of years of late, I know there's a history, so I'm not going, don't come at me and say, oh, we used to be okay. But in this century, been a lot of losing happening.
I used to have hair.
There's a lot of losing that's been going on at Morgan State this century. So I don't know, I think there needs to be some winning happening this year. Be in contention when the MEAC play starts. How about that?
There you go.
That would be the first thing that helps. Can you be above 500 when the season starts, when the MEAC play starts? I do sometime next week or the week after, Drew. I know we spend a lot of time, and we got baseball starting, softball starting, the track and field indoor championships of various conferences are about to start up. Football schedules have started coming out. I'm curious about how some people are judging those, and I noticed something interesting about your school, and your rivalry matchup, which has been moved from the end of the year to Labor Day weekend. I found that kind of interesting. So maybe next week we can talk about that for a minute.
30 seconds.
Well, all right, whatever. All right, that's going to do it for tonight. I would like to also, as we close the show, like to send our thoughts and prayers, condolences to the South Carolina State community, the students, the families of those victims. That incident at South Carolina State, in which 2 people were killed and 1 other was injured in a shooting that took place on Thursday night. And it's the second time in this academic year that South Carolina State has had to deal with this type of tragedy. The other time occurred during the height of the university's homecoming celebrations. And so, I'm sure it has a lot of people worried about their safety, as it should, but it's just a reminder to keep your eyes open. And sometimes I don't know if these kind of situations are things that are controllable, but we can certainly keep our eyes open and look out for one another. So see something, say something. That kind of messaging needs to be reiterated in moments like this. So we hope the community and the students, the faculty, will start to feel comfortable and get back to their schedules, whatever they may be, in the not too distant future. All right. Well, thank everybody for watching the show tonight and being a part. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and the like button, however and wherever you watch the show. You can always drop a cup of coffee in the donation jar, the $sign there, the my JBM, my BCSN. Any and all contributions are helpful. You can also join the JBN online YouTube page, help support the show that way. You can also be a subscriber to the podcast, the BCSN Pod Zone, where you can download and watch all of the shows that are part of the Black College Sports Network, especially the Saturday Carlos Brown show, our show, the weekday shows, and some of the other featured shows that are part of the network. So if you are off tomorrow for President's Day, enjoy your day off. If you're going to work, have a great Monday. And more importantly, have a great week. For AD Drew, I'm Bryan Fulford. Thank you to everybody. Be safe. God bless. And good night.
Travel light, everybody. We'll holla.
But you stay on hard.